In the previous episode, we learnt about what is death, its aspects, and how is death certified in detail. We learnt about mode and manner of death. We also learnt about the immediate, antecedent, and contributory factors which cause death while certifying a person. But this is for the cases which are in hospital. What about those bodies which are found in the open? Are they certified in the same way? And what are the prerequisites which are necessary for these kinds of bodies? Let us look at it in today's episode.
This video contains graphic images. These images may not be appreciated by everyone. These images are used totally for educational purposes and there is no other intention behind it. Viewer discretion is advised.
In day-to-day life, crime is increasing, so is the load on hospitals for their treatment and post-treatment workups. This includes their information to be given to nearest police of jurisdiction or the police themselves take them to the hospital for treatment. But there is one such area which is often feared, and that is the mortuary or morgue of the hospital. It has all the secrets within it, locked in small chambers called body chambers. The reason being, dead people don't tell any lie. There is only one bet, and that is to listen to their plea and pay attention to them. Often the mortuary will be coupled with the post-mortem block, where post-mortem examinations will be conducted so as to guide a case to its right judicial outcome. After all the necessary things are done in a medico-legal case, the body is sent for post-mortem examination where the police official will bring the body along with inquest panchnama. Let us learn more about the procedure inside the post-mortem block. The inquest means an inquiry or investigation into the cause of death. This inquest panchanama is made by two personnel. One is by police officials, which is under section 174 of the Criminal Procedure Code. Whereas if it is done by the magistrate, it is done under section 176 of the Criminal Procedure Code. The person making the inquest is called an investigating officer. This is made in accordance with section 175 of Criminal Procedure Code, which states that it is to be made in presence of two or more respectable persons called as punchers. This report consists of all the details of the particular case, which include date and time of incident, date and time of hospitalization, date and time of death, is there any criminal suspect, condition of the body when found, what is the body temperature, any injuries, and the date and time of creating the panchanama along with the details of the investigating officials. This image shows inquest panchanama. The CRPC under which it is made is mentioned as shown here. After receiving the inquest, the body is taken for post-mortem examination. The body is then examined by the autopsy surgeons and the time since death is calculated. Calculating the time since death is an important aspect as it helps in determining the time elapsed after death, that is, the age of the dead body. This is determined by examining the changes which the body goes through. The body goes through multiple changes. These changes are divided into three: immediate changes, early changes, and late changes. Immediate changes are cessation of respiration, cessation of circulation, and loss of voluntary power. These changes are nothing but somatic death, as discussed earlier. Early changes are the changes which happen due to cellular death. These are pallor and loss of elasticity of skin, ocular changes, muscular flaccidity, cooling of body, staining of body, rigor mortis. Ocular changes are the changes which occur in the eyes. These are loss of corneal reflex, corneal opacity, flaccidity of the eyeball, dilation of pupils, retinal vessels fragmentation or Kevorkian sign, increase in the potassium levels after death in the vitreous humor. Tache noire. These are small brownish black colored triangles which appear in the eye. The base is towards the iris and apex towards the either end of the eyeball. These are artifactual in nature. These are found along with the corneal opacity. Kevorkian sign is seen when the eye is examined through fundoscope. This appears within minutes after death and persists for about an hour and a half. As the time progresses, the body starts to lose heat. This is due to the conductive effect as the body loses its heat into the surrounding atmosphere and also due to stoppage of circulation. This effect is called algor mortis or cooling of the body. Superficial layers of the body lose heat first, followed by deeper structures. Internal organs of the body lose heat into the superficial layers of the skin. This depends on the surrounding atmospheric temperature, the clothing of the body, air, water, and much more. Extensively, the heat is radiated off quickly in the initial hours. The rate of fall of temperature of body heat is 0.4 to 0.6 degrees Celsius per hour for 12 to 16 hours. After which the rate is almost uniform. If you plot a graph, it will be S-shaped or sigmoid in curvature. It is an important process as it helps in estimation of fall of temperature in different climates, although it is not a reliable tool to measure the time since death. As the rate falls, there are other simultaneous changes going on. Another important change is the staining of the body. This is also called post-mortem lividity or post-mortem hypostasis, sugulations, vibices, and darkening of death. This occurs due to the gravitational effect, capillovenous distension, and is found in the superficial layers of the skin, rete mucosum. As the body is in contact with the underlying surface, blood starts to pool around the area, giving it bluish-purple color. Internal organs also show this phenomenon. It is initially dull red in color and occurs in patches of 1 to 2 centimeters and occurs in about 30 minutes to an hour. Then these patches become dark and spread to the entire body, forming the lividity. It is fully developed and fixed in 6 to 12 hours and persists till the decomposition sets in. Along with algor and livor mortis, there occurs a change which involves muscles. This is known as rigor mortis. Rigor mortis or cadaveric rigidity or death stiffening is a process which occurs after the primary muscular relaxation. To understand rigor mortis better, we need to look at the muscle contraction activity. We all know that the key components in the muscle contraction complex are actin, myosin, and ATP. Actin is bound to myosin head when calcium ions are present. ATP phosphorylates into ADP and causes detachment of actin and myosin, leading to muscle relaxation. After death, there is loss of biochemical processes. Thus, ATP cannot be converted to ADP and the muscles start contracting one by one. As you can see, the skeletal muscles are relaxed. On addition of ATP, the muscles contract rapidly. This is exactly what happens in the rigor mortis. All the ATP in the body combines with the filaments until the ATP is exhausted. This contraction of muscles proceeds from muscles of neck towards the muscles of head and toward the lower body, causing flexion of elbow, wrist, fingers, hips, knee, ankle and toes of both the feet. This takes almost 12 hours to come, 12 hours to settle and 12 hours to leave. The order of appearance and order of disappearance is the same. An important point to note here is that rigor mortis sets in faster in diseases which cause exhaustion, example cholera. Also, it never appears in babies less than approximately 7 months because of incomplete development of the musculature. Along with this, the areas in contact with the ground surface becomes flattened. This is called as contact flattening. Rigor mortis is to be differentiated from cadaveric spasm, heat stiffening and cold stiffening. Cadaveric spasm means instantaneous contraction of the muscles. If any object is in the hold of that individual, it will stay inside the hand of that person. This means that it is restricted to one muscle group and not present all over the body. Example, suicidal attempt due to firearm will lead to cadaveric spasm and the gun will stay in the hand. Rigor mortis can be broken but not cadaveric spasm. It takes great efforts to loosen the grip of a cadaveric spasm. Whereas cold stiffening happens when the body is in cold storage and the fluid present inside the joint freezes and causes stiffening. As the body comes to room temperature, it breaks and rigor mortis sets in. Whereas in heat stiffening, it happens when temperatures go above 69 degrees. It causes muscle to cook and outer surface to look brownish black with central zone on cut section as reddish pink. These changes are primarily recorded and noted and written in detail while writing a post-mortem report. In the next episode, we will learn about decomposition changes and identification markers. If you haven't watched our previous episodes, the link will be in description. Do let us know your queries and feedback. Like, share, comment and subscribe. Till then, keep learning, stay curious and support us.